Welcome back to Sonny Talk Spurs, and today I'm bringing you a tier list based on Tottenham's squad heading into the 2023-24 season. I've been having a think over the last couple of days and I've realised our squad is a complete mess at the moment. We've got about 7 people coming back from loan. We've got the defensive issues to deal with. We've got a midfield, a new system, a new manager, strikers and attackers that might not want to be here next year. So we might as well do a tier list. And I'll decide who should stay, who should go out on loan, and all the rest of it. As you can see on screen, we've got the bulk of the squad who could go into the 2023-24 season. And honestly, looking at it at face value, some of the players here, oh my God, I don't know what to do with some of them off the bat, but we might as well go straight in with some definites. So I'm going to start with... Now, I'm probably going to start with some obvious ones. I'm going to put Lucas Moura in the gone section because he's already gone. His contract has expired. He's no longer at the club. Next, I'm going to go with Dan Juma in the gone as well. Obviously, his loan has expired at the club. And I don't know why we even went for that deal in the end. Like, we went in at Everton, swooped in, brought him in, and he didn't even feature. I think he scored a couple of goals, maybe 1 or 2. Yeah, 2. One against Bournemouth and one against in the FA Cup, I think. But what was the point? And we're not going to make it permanent because Villarreal won about 30 odd million. So he's gone. So that's my gone section, probably complete because I'm going to explain some of the decisions for other players. So I'm going to start with some easy keeps, and we'll start with Fraser Forster. Just makes sense to me. He's a good backup keeper. Shouldn't really be starting because, you know, last season he did make some mistakes in certain games, but he was also quite safe in other games. He's only been here a year as well. Perfect, good backup. I'm also going to keep Bentancur. I mean, pretty obvious. He's out until November with a really bad injury, and he's probably our best midfielder at the club, so we're keeping him. Next up, we're going to keep Son. Obviously, he has been linked with Saudi Arabia, but he came out and said that he wants to stay at the club, loves the Premier League, so he's obviously staying as well. Right, I'm going to pick someone at random now. Let's see. Right, Harry Winks. Got to be sold. He got relegated with Sampdoria. He's not good enough anymore. Just get rid. I don't care if it's on a free. Terminate his contract. He's got to get out of the club. He is not good enough. Then I also think we should sell Giovanni Lo Celso. He's just not worked out at the club. I really thought he was going to hit the ground running when he signed. But he's just one of those ones that's been really disappointed. Came in for quite a big fee in the end. And I'm just disappointed. I just really thought he was going to be good. Gone on a couple of loan spells. Villarreal seems to be doing okay there. But with a lot of these players, I just can't see us getting big fees for them when we need to try and like build them up so we can buy some other players to replace them, but he's just got to be sold. Now for one that, I don't know if some Tottenham fans would find it controversial, they do sit on the fence with him, I would sell Hugo Lloris. Saudi Arabia come calling. He's not too tempted on the move, but I think it's time to call it a day for Lloris. We need a new keeper ASAP, and if we could get some sort of fee for him, I think he's got about a year left on his contract, just sell him. Just really got to get rid. So many high-profile errors. I do love him. I think he is a Tottenham icon, a Tottenham legend. But time to call it a day for Hugo. Another easy keep. I'm going to pick Romero. You know, probably our best centre-back at the club. He needs a centre-back to come in and teach him the ways. I think I mentioned this on a previous video. But he is just quite rash. But he's only been at the club for, I think, about 2 years now. And I do love him. There's just something that's really lovable about him. Obviously, a World Cup winner as well. Just got to keep him at the club. He just needs to be educated and coached by an actual good manager. Obviously going to keep Pedro Porro as well. I believe he could become a very good player. Obviously he is a right wing back, so maybe he has to be coached into a right back or maybe even a winger position. But, you know, we've only just paid 45 million for him in January, so why would we get rid? Another player to be sold, Sergio Reguilon. Not really been good at Atletico Madrid. So might as well just get rid of him as well. Another person to sell, Ivan Perisic. I just think, you know, probably hasn't worked out how we all thought. I predicted that he was going to be quite a good player, but he's in the last year of his 2-year contract. He can play wing or wing back, which but he's too old to play a winger. He's also, you know, we're going to go to a 4 at the back under Ange, so he can't really play in a 4. So he's got to go as well. Joe Rodon, sell. Not good enough. Don't know why we signed him. You know, we could have signed probably Kim-min Jae for a very lesser fee. We went for Joe Rodon. Jose Mourinho did warn us. Yves Bissouma, easy keep. I think he's going to actually have a really good season this season. You know, first season, not too good. Had some injuries, had some bad displays, had some promising displays as well. I think that actually went under the radar, some of his good displays for Tottenham. But I actually really think he could play that 6. I think he could also play the 8 maybe. Probably, you know, one of the more versatile with Bentancur as one of our current midfielders. But yeah, easy keep. Ben Davies I would keep because I just think, you know, we got not many options at full-back, natural left-backs. A left centre-back as well, he could probably play there and do a job. We've got to keep Ben Davies for 1 more year at least. Eric Dyer. We've got to sell him. Talks about a new contract. I just don't see the point. I don't think he can play in a 4 at the back anymore. I don't think he can play midfield. We're not going to play 3 at the back. So we've got to just stop and actually really be savage and cut some of these players off. We've got to really cut ties and, you know, be true to ourselves. We've got a lot of dead wood. Arsenal have done it perfectly down the road. So why can't we? Højbjerg. Now, there's rumours that Bayern Munich might be interested in, which is quite surprising. So with him, I'm going to keep him. I think he's quite a good leader to have in the dressing room. He's part of the leadership team, I think it's called. So I think keep him. You know, he would really be good in that defensive position. His passing is a bit suspect. So that does worry me about him playing deep in an Ange system. But we need some midfielders. Like, we just can't get rid of everyone. And he's probably one of the better players that we still have at the club. Brian Hill. I'd loan Brian Hill one more time. There's a winger there. There's a player there. He's just quite weak. He's won the Europa League with Sevilla as a bit part player. He just needs to get some first team football, and he's probably not going to get it at Spurs. But I think one more loan spell, fine. Another easy keep is Kulusevski. Obviously signed permanently last weekend. I'm not going to go into too much detail about him. We obviously know, you know, last season wasn't as good as when he signed for the half season, but I really like him. I think he's promising. Again, needs a proper coach who plays attacking football to teach him the way. I'm going to do some quick ones now. We've got Harvey White I would loan. I think, you know, good promising youngster. Probably needs some minutes. I'm not sure if he's going to get minutes at Tottenham, so I would definitely just loan him out. We've got Destiny Udogie. Keep one of the best fullbacks in Serie A last season. Just really promising. I'm really excited to see him. I actually wish we'd kept him last season instead of loaning him back. I think that would have been a mistake in hindsight, but, you know, we move. Tanganga. If we can loan Tanganga, I think he could do with some minutes. Again, I think there is a player there. He just needs to be honed and coached and just, you know, he's had some promising games for Tottenham against City. I just don't think he's been played in the right system. A lot of these players have been played and shoehorned into Conte's system. And under Ange, I think maybe some of them could work better. But I think for the time being, we loan him out. Jed Spence, easy keep. I think, you know, I don't know why we loaned him out either. I don't know why we signed him for Conte. I actually really liked the signing at the time. Was really pushing for it. It took ages. And then Conte comes out, says it's a club signing, doesn't use him. You know, he's got a bright future at Spurs. I have no doubt of that. Skip keep, you know, I do like Skip. I think he gets a lot of heat. People were honing in on the mistake he made against Brentford, but in a lot of games, he was really, really good. So, yeah, might as well keep him. Ryan Sessegnon, sell. I don't think he's been good enough. Again, winger, wing back. Just don't think he proved himself in Conte's system. I'm not sure if he's also injured. I'm not sure if Postecoglu will give him a chance, but I think just sell him. I think it's time to go. Papa Sarr, keep. I actually really love Sarr. Glad he stayed at the club last year. Had some very promising games, especially against AC Milan, where he was chucked in at the deep end in that game. Really excited to see. I think he could play the 8 role really well. Clement Longley, I think we should re-sign him. Obviously, you know, his loan spell was end. There's talks about a 5 million fee. I think we might as well just bring him in. Left-footed centre-back. I want us to sign a proper left-sided centre-back, but he provides good cover. We might as well keep. Davinson Sanchez, sell. Honestly, what was that signing? You know, we looked at Ajax in that Europa League final against Man United, went Sanchez or De Ligt. Let's go for Sanchez. We pay 35 million. Awful. honestly, he can't track the flight of a ball. I mean, I probably can't either. But he's a professional footballer. Just get rid. Emerson Royale, I'd say keep. You know, he can play right back, probably right centre back as well. Also right wing back. And I just think he actually had a pretty much good season. You know, if it weren't for Kane, he could have been our player of the season, I think. So Emerson, I think you've got to keep. We need some options at full-back as well. Richarlison, we've got to keep him. You know, got to give him a bit more time. You know, obviously didn't have the best first year at Tottenham. £60 million spent on him. People saying that apparently he would suit the Ange system as that sort of, you know, Kyogo type striker. So fingers crossed, you know, the 60 million, he repays it and he stays and he has a good career at Tottenham. Right, the last two. Right, I'm going to say I think we should keep Ndombele. Now, I think this one will get a lot of hate, but he said he wants to revive his career at Tottenham. He cost us a lot of money, and I think Levy still doesn't really want to bite the bullet on that one. And I think there's still a player there. There's promise. I know at Napoli he wasn't amazing, but I think Ange could get him playing in a good position. He's got good passing. He's got good dribbling. He is a bit slow. I mean, I saw him go and collect his Serie A medal, and that took like half an eternity to just walk up to the podium. But I'm going to back Ndombele. My namesake, Ndombele. So, yeah, I think keep him. And finally, Harry Kane. What do we do with Harry Kane? Right, I think this one's easy. We put him out on loan. Now, hear me out. We put him out on loan. We sign him up to a 5-year deal. Then for 2 years, we loan him to either Real Madrid, where he's guaranteed trophies, or PSG, where he's guaranteed the league. And what's good about PSG is he could get the Eurostar to and from London so he can come and see his family. So there's no issue there, is there? Right, I'm obviously kidding. We got to keep him, you know, sign him up. If we can, I don't think we actually will be able to sign Kane up. But I would rather let him run his deal down and let him go on a free than cash in. I don't think we'd do well to cash in. I think we'd spend the money horrifically like we did with Gareth Bale. I think let him go on a free next year if he really wants to go. If he loves the club, he'll stay. I think he does want to break that record, so he'll probably stay in the Premier League. Or he could go to Real Madrid. I think Real Madrid would put an offer in for him. Maybe not now, probably when he's available on a free. But yeah, keep Kane at all costs. And that's my tier list. Obviously, you can see the full one on the screen. Obviously, there's some that you probably all agree with. There's some that you probably don't, Ndombele. But we'll move on from that. If you've enjoyed this video, then leave a like down below. Comment who did you agree with, who do you disagree with, all that sort of stuff. Also, subscribe. It's a new channel, Sonny Talks Spurs, Tottenham Hotspur fan channel. And I've been your boy, Sonny. Speak to you later.